What's going on, everybody? Hunter Gann here, Wyker Realtors, coming to you guys on July 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th, big holiday going on, and so a lot of you guys can probably be scrolling on Instagram, YouTube. So I wanted to bring this to you all and let you all know about an opportunity that's pretty important for you to take a hold of. So one of those options, I've been talking about it on Instagram, is creative financing and how you can unlock home ownership through very, very steep discounts. And unlock opportunities in real estate you don't have as easily accessible with conventional financing. So real estate historically has been considered super lucrative in the sense of buying and holding, selling, flipping, and other products in real estate for that matter. And it's a major component in wealth creation. So you're not going to make it to the top. They say 90% of all millionaires come from real estate or own, buy or sell real estate. So you got to live somewhere. People have to rent somewhere if they can't afford to live. And then there's other opportunities that real estate can allow you to have that wealth creation. So that equals generate passive income. That equals passive income that you can generate. You can build equity, and then you can diversify your portfolio. So instead of just stocks, bonds, crypto, we all know that's volatile, going crazy. Real estate, other forms, starting a business, all of those require capital. All of those require smart purchasing and then further management. Real estate offers another component. So traditional financing with real estate has obviously been a norm, but there are creative financing options that we'll get into. None of them too crazy, but basically FHA. So if you've tuned in any other videos, you know that FHA, you got lower down payments. You've got lower qualifications, and you don't have to put as much on the line, and you can have a co-signer and co-applicants. Some other things that I wanted to touch on just with that and rehash some of those details about FHA loans. So what are they? FHA loans, or Federal Housing Administration loans, or mortgages insured by the government. So they're designed to help potential homeowners, especially first-time home buyers, achieve their dreams of owning a home. So they can also be a super powerful tool that investors can use when looking to leverage financial resources, which we'll get into that. You'll get more profits, you'll get a better return on your money spent, specifically 3.5% down, and how you can build equity out of that right off the bat. So one of my main points is creative financing, specifically house hacking with FHA loans. So one of the first key components, and using FHA in the sense of creative financing, because anyone can get an FHA loan that qualifies. If your income exceeds the amount, you can't qualify. Other than that, if you're too low of a credit score, you won't qualify. So you got to mix and match it a little bit, but you get lower down payments. So standout advantage is their low down payments, and borrowers typically have to borrow anywhere as little as 3.5% down. So that means that anyone can get into real estate on a $100,000 house with $3,500 minus closing costs, and then a $200,000 property, $7,000. So pretty easy to be able to do that at any income level with proper financial saving strategies. I won't get into those, but that's just something to look forward to. Also, something with FHA loans is interest rates. They're very favorable. It comes with competitive rates, typically a little bit lower than conventional, but they've got insurance premiums on top of it. So you've got to look at it like what you're paying per month. Looking at a property in the $300,000, $400,000, or whatever it's selling for price range is really unrealistic compared to what it costs monthly. And so FHA can definitely help you do that in a favorable term, favorable rates, especially considering cash flow and overall investment profitability. So they're very lenient when it comes to credit requirements as well. Unlike traditional financing options, FHA loans have more lenient credit requirements. So very flexible. I've already mentioned it, but it's advantageous for investors who don't have that perfect credit score. Not everyone's batting in the 700s, 800s range. So it opens up more for it opens up more for securing financing and being able to go in and know with a guarantee you can do that. So number 4, FHA loans are actually assumable, which people don't really know. That means that when you decide to sell, the buyer can assume your existing mortgage. So loans that were bought in 2020, 2021, 2022 at those very favorable rates, not only are they assumable, but you can walk in and with little money down be able to purchase. That's not very well known, and it would vary from place to place, but it's a very valuable selling point because a lot of conventionals, it's tougher to assume it. You hear the word subject to, seller financing, a lot of those words are out there. So if you found someone who's purchased FHA, then it means it most likely is assumable. And it's an advantage to buyers who might not qualify for that traditional financing. They would just have to qualify for initial FHA stuff, but there you go, just check on that. Also, streamlined refinancing options. FHA, they've got like a pretty easy, pretty simple refinancing option. Basically, the specific one is FHA Streamlined Refi Program. It allows investors to refi their existing loans with reduced documentation, lower fees, and lower closing costs, lower origination fees, all of that stuff, lowering monthly mortgage payments, etc., and freeing up additional funds for further investments. So on the refi side, which you would do regardless on the FHA side, that's a plus. So some other creative financing strategies that this can apply to, not only with all the numbers that I've just talked about, but the specifics that you can start acting on, is house hacking. So the term house hacking is when you purchase a multifamily property anywhere from a duplex, triplex to a fourplex, and you live in one of the units and then you rent out the rest. The rest of the units, they pay cash flow, they pay down your mortgage, and then anyone on top of the mortgage, any monthly money on top of the mortgage goes to your pocket. It can go to reserves, it can go to improvements, everything. And it allows you to live in one and tenants cover a significant amount. The next portion, that's very popular by the way, the next benefit and package is the fix and flip. So FHA 203K loans provide financing for both the purchase and renovation of a property. So really savvy investors who know the cost that it's going to take to do a distressed property, they know how to acquire them at a very low market rate, where after the improvements are in there, then it's more than what the property would be worth if they just bought it today. And then they know how to make those repairs or upgrades. So if you don't know how to do that, this might not be the right for you. And then you go on the flip side. Again, if you flip it, then you're going to have a larger tax implication than if you live in it as a primary occupant for the 2-year tax laws. So there's the one thing. The third is buy and hold. So investors who use FHA loans to finance rental properties, you do if you occupy it yourself, but whether it's a single family or multifamily, you can do the house hacking strategy and you can generate rental income while benefiting from property appreciation over time. So you're getting your foot in the door in home ownership, you're letting your equity build up, and you've got a lower down payment, which means your return on investment would be substantially more if you buy it correctly. With the help of a good agent, you'll know how to do that. The last thing is having a co-signer or a co-applicant in the idea of equity sharing. So myself plus, let's just say, a business partner who doesn't own a home, and I already used my FHA loan, so I can't use that until I sell that previous property. So I go in, and someone who's never bought a home before who wants to use an FHA loan, they get lower money down. We can benefit by potentially myself putting up capital and getting percent equity ownership. You can have a co-signer or an individual who agrees to split equity, kind of as business partners, joint venture, however you want to categorize that. And so it would be based on leverage the capital partner, credit worthiness to acquire properties, and then you share in the profits. So it's definitely a great strategy for people to get into. So to wrap it up, creative financing using FHA loans presents an insane opportunity for home ownership. And I'm not coming from a perspective of, hey, buy, but I'm coming from the perspective of how can you get your foot in the door with real estate, how can you start building generational wealth, and how can you potentially retire from your full-time job using real estate in the next 3 to 5 years. That's my goal as an agent, and I want you all to get on board. So if you could, go down in the comments and ask your questions on FHA, ask your questions on the market, ask me anything, and then to find out more information about how to reach me, check that link in my website and get connected with me. We can have a conversation of how to get this ball rolling. because I want to unlock new resources, new avenues for profitability. Like I said, whether it's through house hacking, flipping, buying and holding, or equity sharing, the versatility of FHA loans and other creative financing options that I will share will help you on your real estate journey. So just remember, consult with somebody like myself, very knowledgeable. Even if I'm not in your market, I can tell you tips and tricks that will help you make a good investment decision when it comes to real estate. I don't have to be there, boots on the ground, but if I am in the Louisville and in the Kentucky and surrounding counties area, then you definitely need to be reaching out and finding out ways that I can help you along this process. So I want to open doors to a brighter future. And again, this is Hunter Gann here. And when you're thinking of buying and selling real estate, Hunter Gann can.